Good morning, everybody. Today is Thursday, November 6th, and in this video, I would like to explain what to do with those two handouts regarding the literature review assignment that I gave you in class this morning. And if you weren't in class this morning, you can follow the links below this video in the blog post to view and read the handouts that I gave you. The two handouts that I gave you have to do with writing a literature review, and the first one is this one. It's called How to Write a Literature Review. It's got two sides, okay? And the second one is an example of a lit review written by somebody else, which I would like us to use as sort of a model for our own work. What I'll do is I'll talk first about why the first draft assignment for this project that we're doing will be a literature review, and then we'll talk about why and how to write one. The literature review is sort of a basic type of academic writing that writers use to achieve a couple of goals. It establishes your credibility as a writer. It also shows your readers that you've studied your topic well enough to be able to make your own conclusions about it. And finally, it helps you focus your topic better by allowing you to discuss research and group your sources in a way that makes sense to you and your readers. Here's what I mean by this. Contrary to what you may have heard in the past, you do not write an academic paper by beginning with a thesis and then looking for quote-unquote proofs or evidence to support them. Instead, you develop your thesis based on your understanding of the research and based on your understanding of the topic as you read your sources. The first natural step in any academic project is to survey your research and try to come up with some sort of a summary analysis of what it is that your research tells you about your topic. So you've done at least one round of searching and you've done your annotated bibliography, and what the literature review is supposed to do is to help you and your readers make sense of your results. One important thing about the literature review that makes it a little tricky is that unlike an annotated bibliography, the literature review does not just list and discuss sources one by one as they appear. Instead, it is trying to talk about main issues, the main themes, the main topics that come across in these sources. So instead of discussing sources one by one, you would group them by the themes or by the topics or by the issues that these sources discuss. That is extremely important. And if you look at the excuse me, the first handout, the How to Write a Lit Review, here it gives you some of the things that you may want to do in your lit review. Notice that the first component here is problem formulation. Which topic or field is being examined and what are its component issues? So the first thing that a lit review is supposed to help you accomplish is to look at your research and say, all right, what is the problem that I'm trying to highlight? What is the issue? What is the controversy in our case that I'm trying to explain to my readers? Okay. The purpose of the literature review is to then say, I've got some research, I've got some sources that will help me explain this problem. So if you're talking about a scientific controversy, for instance, that has two main sides, what you may want to do is say, okay, here are my sources that talk about one side, here are my sources that talk about the other side. I'm going to use this opportunity to outline what these sides are saying to each other and about the controversy, and then go from there. If you look at the second handout, which is actually an example of a literature review, a very short one, it's less than 1 page long. It starts here at the bottom of the first page and continues on the second page. I'd like you to read this example after you've looked at the first handout. What this does, before the example actually begins, again, this author talks about what a good literature review is supposed to do on the first page. So look through this and notice that, again, the main principle behind writing a lit review is that you don't talk about sources one by one. Instead, you're talking about topics, themes, ideas, questions, and you group sources together according to those topics and themes and ideas. What the handout says here is this, and I quote, "The discussion of the various sources is organized logically. Sources aren't introduced randomly one by one, they're grouped together. All the sources that deal with similar ideas or information are in the same paragraph. Sometimes a particularly important or interesting source gets a paragraph to itself, but more typically sources are dealt with in groups according to their subject matter or methodology." It's here on the first page. So, going back to your project, The purpose of the lit review is to explain, highlight, and describe the sides of the controversy. The sources that you have found so far should be sufficient for doing that. If you want to do some additional research, that's fine, but try to base your initial lit review on the sources that you found so far. How can you best explain and describe the controversy, the sides that are involved, the players that are involved in it, to readers who don't know much about it? So you're talking to readers who are not familiar with this controversy, so you need to explain to them what is going on based on your research. Okay. On Tuesday, when we get to class, we'll look at we'll do a workshop of your first drafts, and from there we'll try to revise them, try to improve your lit review, and then after that, we'll start thinking about coming up with our own thesis statement or commentary on the sources on the lit review. As always, if you have any questions, please let me know. Come by my office today, if you have time on Thursday or next Tuesday, and we'll discuss your work in progress. Again, the assignment for Tuesday is in the schedule section of the website, and if you weren't in class today, you can follow the links below this video to view and read the two handouts that discuss methods of writing literature review. Thank you very much. Again, if you have any questions, please let me know, and have a great day.